everybody. Welcome back to the Comedy Castle podcast. I'm your host, Joel Fragomeni, going to tell you what's going on this week at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. A lot of shows, real good ones. Some of them that are sold out already, but we'll tell you about those. Steven Rogers is our weekend headliner, and Steven's on the show with me today. It was really cool talking to him. But let's start on Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. It's the 101 Comedy Class Showcase. So it's Bill Bouchard students, the 101 Comedy Class. They're going to perform for it. It's always a fun night with friends and family. And everybody encouraging folks on, the newcomers, the people who maybe will never do another comedy show. This might be their only time on stage, or they might fall in love with comedy and want to continue. But it's Bill Bouchard's 101 Comedy Class Showcase. Just a quick update on comedy classes, because people are asking. April 18th is the next advanced comedy class. That's the one that I teach. If you want to learn more about comedy and maybe work professionally, you've done the 101 class with Bill, and you want to step your game up a notch. That's what the advanced comedy class is for. We'll teach you everything you need to know to be a working professional stand-up comedian. That'll start Saturday, April 18th. The beginner classes are starting all the time, starting up new groups Saturday mornings and Monday evening, late afternoon evening, I would say, on the Monday classes. But call the Comedy Castle at 248-542-9900 if you're interested in signing up for either of the classes. And we got Improv with Tam White. That'll start up again in July. So, yeah. And then Steven Rogers comes in for 3 nights, Thursday the 26th at 7:30 p.m. We've also got shows at 7:15 p.m. and 9:45 for you on Friday, March 27th. And then Saturday, March 28th, 7 p.m. and 9:30. Those are the usual start times for our headliner shows with Steven Rogers this week. And he's got some real fun openers. Kim Cook, I believe, maybe first time at the Comedy Castle. I'm not really sure. And Steve Smargon will be the feature. And I'm a fan of Steve, so I like Steve a lot. You'll see him too. And Steven, who we'll talk to in a minute. Maria Bamford has 2 shows at our club on Sunday. They're both sold out. People are asking me, how do I get into the Maria Bamford shows on Sunday, the 29th? I don't have an answer for you. They are sold out. You can always keep checking comedycastle.com. And there could be a couple that go up during the week here and there, for reasons that I probably can't even explain to you here on this show. But they're on ticket. If you want to see Maria, 4:30 and 7:30 are the shows with Maria Bamford on Sunday, the 29th. So that should be fun. Maria Bamford draws a fun crowd. Like Maria. I must have met Maria Bamford 15 years ago. A girl I was dating was doing comedy, and she got to open for Maria, and she was very nice. We like Maria. All right, guys, so let's get to Steven Rogers here. That's our head. Well, maybe we'll start with last weekend. Lori Kilmartin, you killed it. You came in for 2 nights. You were my guest. We did a real fun podcast, and she did a great job telling us all about the Oscars. How exciting to have one of the writers of the Oscars be on this show the night after the Oscars and then at the Comedy Castle this weekend. I know a lot of people really enjoyed Lori this weekend. And, of course, we can't forget Thursday last week. Michael McDaniel, who is also a guest on this show, did a killer job. I'm a big fan of Michael McDaniel. He had Tam White opening. It was a fun show. All right, let's get to Steven Rogers. What did we talk about? Well, Steven was supposed to do the show with me. It got delayed. We'll explain that. It's something that a lot of you might have had to deal with, or if not, hope it doesn't happen to you. We also talk about, we get pretty deep on comedy, and he tells us how he started as a young man and the comics that really helped him along the way. So you'll hear some stories about Nate Bargatze. You'll hear some stories about Brian Regan in this episode, because they were guys who really helped Steven along the way and his journey, and I think he still goes out and does shows with them from time to time. We'll talk about the positioning of Steven's headshot at our club, which is funny. And just a lot of cool stuff. He was here before, and I had not interviewed Steven for this show. I'm not even sure why. It was probably something to do with my schedule. But it was great to talk to him officially on the air. We hung out a lot in the green room and talk comedy, and we do that again here. And I think you'll enjoy it. I think he's one of the guys that, like we say, Nate Bargatze came year after year for a weekend that was always fun, maybe not always sold out, but as his reputation started to grow in comedy, it became to where he couldn't even play the Comedy Castle. He was too popular. I hope that opens for Steven. Nice guy, funny act, clean act too. Bring mom, bring grandma, bring them out this weekend. Bring the kids if they're over 18, because Steven Rogers works clean and he's super funny. I love him. Love his act. I love the guy. I love the guy, but I love his act. Let's throw it to Steven Rogers. We'll be back to talk right after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the other end of my line, our headliner for this weekend, a return engagement to the Comedy Castle. Steven Rogers, how you doing today?
I'm good, Joel. How are you?
I'm good. A big week, Comedy Castle. It's exciting to have you back.
Yeah, I'm very excited to come back. I loved my first time there and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, and you did an awesome job.
Thank you. That was my first time headlining there. I hadn't even been there before, so I knew about the room and was excited to do it.
Yeah, it was great. And if I am correct on this, I look at your photo every day on our walls at the Comedy Castle. Day at work. It is the last photo you see before you enter the men's room. There you go. Now, I had nothing to do with that, but that is the case.
That's amazing.
So, as anyone goes to the men's room, little Steven Rogers as you're going in there.
Did I write? Is that the one where I wrote, "Please don't hang this in the bathroom"?
You know what? That I'm unsure of, but I will check. Yeah,
because I know I've done that, and if it's that one, I am very excited about that.
I mean,
that's amazing.
It's the hallway. There's other photos, but it's like
yes,
it's like a little row of one, and it's just you, and it's just there. It is.
Man, that hallway. I mean, I don't have to tell you. As a comedy nerd, just the coolest one of the coolest hallways I've seen in a comedy club ever. It's so great.
It's great. Yeah, Mark, it is a curated wall, meaning that not everybody stays up there forever.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm close to the bathroom, so that can take a lot for my future.
Here's the thing. If you go past the bathroom, there's 200 past the bat that people don't even, it's like the guy who runs our nacho chips out. He sees all those, but that's about it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
I made the cut then.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the cut. It is prime. I'd say around the restrooms is actually a prime place to be seen.
Well, man, this is going only in the upward direction. I like this. The only way I could get more FaceTime is above the urinal.
Yeah, we don't do that. That's not an indignity that we, put on people. But yeah,
I appreciate it.
But we've probably been there. I mean, I know when I was touring, it would be above the flyer for the upcoming show would be above the urinal.
Yes. I've looked at my own eyes while peeing before.
Yeah, that's stuff. But the Comedy Castle, it's a top flight organization. We don't do.
Yes,
we don't humiliate you like that.
And that's why we love you.
Well, what's been going on? Now, we were going to do this interview yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, you got to tell me what's going on, because you hit me up and you're like, hey, it's not going to be good. And I'm like, what's the deal?
Yeah,
tell everybody what you were sort of caught in.
Well, I appreciate your flexibility. So I live in New York City, as most comics, and then even as more comics do. I live in Astoria, and Astoria, Queens is known mostly for LaGuardia Airport is located here. And there was an unfortunate accident there yesterday, and they shut the whole airport down.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, it's just a domino effect. So I was in Tampa, Florida. I had just finished a weekend with Tom Papa.
Okay.
And we were. I did another club to warm up for this weekend with you guys.
Yeah.
And got stuck in Tampa, and then spent the whole day. When you're a road guy, just trying to figure out how to get home.
Yeah.
It's like basically I lived the premise of most Christmas movies, but in March was just trying to figure out how to get back to my cats before the sun went down.
Well,
So yesterday was an odyssey for sure.
Yeah, well, it's not. I felt a little bit like, well, that it does touch everyone. Like the guy in Michigan. I'm like, oh, I was going to do this today. Now I can't do that because a plane hit a truck on the runway. It's a whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you measure your complaints. You're like, well, I'm grateful. I'm not physically affected or emotionally affected, but now today is how do we get home? And I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone, and she's like, man, you're like, you have all these contingencies, and you just found out like an hour ago. And I'm like, I feel like when you're a road guy, you're training for when this day happens.
It's true. So how long did it ultimately take then, from when you were supposed to be home to when you were home?
I think I took off at 12 in Tampa and got into my apartment 8:00 last night.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I was supposed to land and be in my apartment at 8:00 a.m. So really? What a day! Yeah,
that's horrible. Yeah, not a fan.
But we did it.
I was snowed in once at Newark Airport, and
oh man,
yeah, I was snowed in at Newark, and they just said, "Hey, we're gonna shut off." It was like 3 flights that they tried to get me on, they couldn't. They go, "You're flying out first thing tomorrow," and I'm like, "Okay." Where do I get my bag? And they're like, you don't get your bag. I don't get my bag. I didn't get your bag. So I booked a hotel room and I had no bag. I mean, I had my carry-on, but I had no toiletries. I had no change of clothes. I had none of that.
I haven't had that happen to me yet, but that's one of the main reasons I don't check. But
okay. Yeah, there you go.
But it's coming for us. The good thing is when you live this life and you're like, you know this, how many times you're in an airport and it's like, oh, this is a person's first day in an airport.
Yeah.
And you're like, anytime this curveball is thrown at me, I'm not as panicked, which I like.
Right. Yeah. You always can tell who's like the veteran traveler if you look around.
My father's joining me this weekend at the Comedy Castle. He's not performing, but he's a big comedy nerd.
All right.
So I wanted to take him to the club.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I will be his Sherpa getting him through the airports.
That's cool, though, man. That's nice that people want to share that experience with you.
Yeah, my dad has always loved he's never wanted to be a comic, but he just loves everything about it. Mm-hmm. So when I have a club where I'm excited, I'm like, Dad, you want to come to this one?
Yeah.
And this time it's Mark Ridley's.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And I believe were you not hanging? Did you hang out one night with Brian Regan at our club? Was that you?
I did.
Yeah, that was a cool night.
We came to see Jackie Cation.
All right. Yeah.
And because she also sometimes opens for Brian.
Yeah.
And I think we did is it the Fillmore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, downtown the Fillmore, yeah.
Yeah, and we came by, and that was my first time setting foot in the club, and that's the first time I got to see that hallway.
Yeah.
And I went to the men's room, and I was like, someday I'm gonna be right here.
Well, that's a cool move for Brian to just go, did this big comedy show, thousands of people. Let's go watch more comedy. That's a cool attitude.
I love it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I love that about him, and I aspire to be that excited to go watch a show that many years in.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Leave a note for Jackie because I think she's there Sunday.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
all right,
she's opening for Maria Bamford. I believe that's the case. That's what.
Oh, that's right. Maria's right behind.
Maria's Sunday. She's got 2 shows on Sunday, and then
there's someone I have not seen live yet.
Oh,
but
really?
I big fan.
Might have to have a snowstorm on
Sunday
morning, and whoops.
You want to do a rain dance out in front of the airport?
I almost went the other way. I don't want to win that. How bad would I feel? Well, I want another truck to go down the runway, and then when it happens, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, what the worst fortune teller.
A hex on everyone. Well, that's not what I want. Well, let's start. Let's go back to the beginnings. Comedy. You're starting comedy. Where'd you grow up?
I'm from Syracuse, New York.
Okay, yeah.
And it's it's got a comedy scene, and we got some people that we're certainly proud of that came out of there, like Tom Kenny, Bob Cat, Moody McCarthy.
Yeah.
And but there wasn't like too much of I didn't know there was a wise guys there in downtown. I never really participated in that, but the Funny Bone opened in Syracuse, and that's when it kind of started for me.
Right.
And I emceed there a lot, did guest spots as much as I could, and then was living there while working at a grocery store. I started when I was like 20.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And did that for a little while. Then I did a festival in Jamestown, New York, and that's where Brian Regan saw me.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I think 4 years in.
No, man.
I
That's
was
amazing.
Yeah, you know this.
Yeah.
I was a little green.
Yeah.
to be like, to understate it. And he liked me and started taking me on the road with him. And that makes you grow faster.
Absolutely.
I think when you're like, oh, there's 900 people here. So yeah, that's sort of where, and there was a lot of comics that helped me, a lot of Funny Bone headliners that helped me, like Rocky Laporte and Rob Little.
Sure, yeah. Rob's from here. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, I love Rob. Rob helped me quite a bit, and yeah, so a lot of road guys helped me.
Yeah, nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you gotta I'm sure. Like, let me ask you this, just about Brian. There's no question about him. Is he giving, like, let's say you go out there, the show doesn't go as well as you thought it was. Is it just Brian just giving it to you and telling you what to do better? Is he giving you some coaching? Is he sort of trying to make you better?
Yeah. So Brian is, as his reputation precedes, one of the nicest guys in comedy. And so it was more if I was inquiring.
Okay.
Because I think he never wanted anyone. He doesn't want anyone to hurt. He doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. If I'm coming to him with my hat in my hand after a set, he was certainly there to help. Yeah. But I don't think he ever came without me asking first.
Right. Well, that's cool.
And then I work with Nate Bargatze as well now.
Yeah.
And Nate sat me down recently and like he unprompted, because he's the busiest guy in comedy.
I know. Yeah.
I'm never gonna ask him, hey, what should I do? But I think he can read it on me that I want to know everything. Yeah. And he sat me down, I think it was like a couple months ago, and just gave me his opinions, all like so helpful, constructive, like, it's really great. I know you know this, and I remember us talking about the class last time.
Right, yeah.
There, just like there's some people that they give it from a place of they know better, and then there's people that come from a place of like, just here's what I've learned from what I did.
Yeah,
and I think it's like how you approach it, and Nate, Brian, Tom, Rob, all these guys
that's a great
were there when I needed them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, very. It's the amount of thank yous. It's a long resume.
Well, the thing people say to me, and I always tell my students this, is they bring up Nate and they're like, Nate Bargatze's picture on wall, was he ever here? Did he ever play? I'm like, he must have played, more than 5, but maybe less than 10 weekends. Once a year. So, I mean, what a huge hunk of your career to be, a weekend guy at the Comedy Castle, which is great, but it wasn't like he was, at least initially, like selling those weekends out. He was another guy on the calendar, and that's not disrespectful. He was amazing.
No.
But it was just when he came in, we didn't know who he was. Oh, this guy's super funny. He's a nice guy. Every week time he came back, it got bigger and bigger by incremental amount.
Yes,
but he really did it. He worked it. It's just exactly what you're doing now.
Well, yeah, and going by it's you know, when you want to become a headliner, and obviously it's really great. I love being a headliner, but what comes with a headliner is those headliner problems of like, you know, you're a feature, you're opening for somebody who has got the following, but you show up like Nate for 10 weekends going, I'm working on my craft. I'm building my audience. And it's like the Seinfeld quote of like, comedy's an ecosystem, and it keeps around what is nurturing for it. And it's like, just keep showing up, doing your thing, and it will take care of you.
Yeah, that's great. And I always sort of, when people talk about Nate, I go, well, I kind of laugh and go, well, he was one of those guys that was coming here every week. And, you know, and there was a bunch of those guys, and there's still a bunch of guys. And we've got guys that have been coming for 20 years that are amazing. Did the break come for him? Well, it hasn't happened yet, but it still can.
Yes. And it's that's exactly right. And I think, you know, when you're outcome driven like that, just focusing on the break, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
But if you're process driven, which I'm grateful to know Nate enough to definitely vouch that he is, when you're focused on your act, it comes without, like, it comes faster when you're not paying attention.
Right.
And you're so when is my break coming? And you're focused on, is this joke as tight as it can be? You know, how am I going to open? How am I going to close? This one, is it really working? You know, all these things. Your act is a beautiful distraction from, are you going to make it or not?
Yeah, right. Let's work on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, yours is great. I loved your shows the last time you were in town.
Oh, thank you. I think it'd be new material this go around.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's always good. I mean, I guess it's good as a guy who kind of, you know, like, I have jokes from the second show I ever did that I might still do on stage, but, you know.
I mean, you know, I think the days of, and I think you're with me on this by saying that, is like the days of something being burned are kind of done.
Yeah.
Unless you're, you know, huge.
Yeah.
It's like, but I mean, I've seen Brian break out some old stuff because people want to hear it.
Yeah.
So it's, but yeah, I like the turning over of material for myself, and also my life's in a different place than it was last time I was at the castle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I got married, and that ruined most of my act.
I got broken up with.
Oh,
so my act's different.
Yeah, well, but hey, that all, you know, I've got a joke about my wedding that's doing very well in my act now. So there's a start.
Oh,
you know, you get a little germ. Something, you know,
the amount of, and once again, you know where I'm coming from. When I got dumped, I was like, well, there's at least 10 minutes. You don't say it out loud, but you know it.
Yeah, you're a comic. Well, at least I got a couple minutes here, and that's we'll move this around. And
I mean, that's the advice that I never understood, and I'm sure you've said it to your students or like young comics, like, you know, you need more life experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you're a young comic, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm living life. But then now I'm like, well, let me go do stuff, because even if it's a boring day, my mind will wander and I'll think of stuff like, or I won't like I won't like golfing, and now I'll have I don't like golfing bit.
Yeah, because women would say this to me when I would date them. They were like, am I going to be in the act? And my answer was, until I got married, really was no, pretty much across the board. Like, I had stories about bad dates, and those were sort of inspired by things, but there was no like particular partner of mine that was ever sort of in the crosshairs of my act until I got married, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now, you know, she's part of your life. So it's like, it's, Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, my new girlfriend didn't get that luxury, and she's got in there pretty quickly. But
well, that could
thankfully,
be as a
they're all
compliment.
pro.
Yeah. It's a, you made the act. Congratulations.
I not. You might be onto something there because she was pretty excited. She did like making the act.
Yeah, that's good. Well, that's maybe. And listen, I know my wife, but maybe she feels like, hey, that's a little hook into him now.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he might not be into me right now, but he loves doing that joke. He'll never leave me. He's closing with me. He can't break up with me.
That's right. Not when I'm his closer.
Exactly. Oh, my wife cannot listen to this show. All right. But that thing about being a young guy is I absolutely tell my students, like, your audience, especially like Comedy Castle, that costs a couple of bucks to get into. It's like these people have kids, divorces, they've had prostate cancer, they've getting colonoscopies. It's like this whole life thing. And you're talking about the Taco Bell drive-through because you're 22, and it's like, it doesn't maybe work as well as you thought it might.
And I've also seen the reverse. I've also seen people, young comics. I remember being in the back of a room of a club, and it was like you're saying, it was a generation. The audience was all people that had enough money to spend. Mm-hmm. So they're older. And he looked at the crowd and he's like, my jokes don't work for old people. Yeah. And I was like, you think they weren't young at one point?
That's true.
Like, so it's like, I don't know. I think I try to focus on the many things that we all focus on, but like what's my intention when what I'm saying? Am I if I'm coming off condescending or like that they don't know what the heck I'm talking about, they're not going to be on board because it looks like I think I'm better than them. But if I'm giving them the knowledge, like the information, just in case they don't have it, in a way where it's like funny, like I feel like every problem there's a joke to fix it.
Yeah.
If any of that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's absolutely, but I think it is a challenge. And you started at 20. I started at like 27. So I had a little bit of life experience, but I was still like, the guys I was working with were all in their 50s, so there was still like, I was the young guy for a real long time.
You're describing my life.
Yeah.
All my friends were in their 50s and 40s.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had superpowers because I didn't have back pain. Like it was so strange. But it's great. I mean, comedy's the best thing in the world. Yeah. Because you meet so many different people from different backgrounds that are comics, and then that you would never cross paths with if you didn't join this world.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing, just everybody you do meet and sort of, being and hearing about their life, just riding in a car with a guy and hearing about their life. And it's like, man, their career or their, road stories and comics that are dead that they open for and all the these wild stuff, man.
And it's funny how often the whole lineup was funnier on the car ride up than we were on the show that night. Yeah, even if we had a great show, I'm like, man, but that one bit we did in the car.
We'll never get that back, man. We got. But yeah, well, that's great. Well, listen, dude, I think this weekend should be terrific. I think it's our first maybe good weather weekend in about. I'm sure New York's been lousy too, but yeah.
I'm on that early Bergazzi run of fighting all the other things that could be happening.
Yeah, but it's going to be a great time. If you haven't seen Steve, come on out this weekend. It's amazing.
Please come out. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and go to when it's time to go
to that bathroom. Go to that bathroom. Take a picture with me.
That's great, man. Hey, well, I know you got to travel again, and this time with your dad. So good luck with that. I've heard the Detroit airport hasn't been too bad as far as like TSA and all that stuff. So maybe getting out, but stuff can change.
Oh yeah.
You see, things are happening in the world.
I'm finding a way. Even if I got a tandem bicycle, I'm getting to Detroit.
We'll get you home. I'll drive you home. Something like that. We'll get you.
Perfect.
All right. We'll have a great talk in the car. Can you imagine the bit we do all the way to New York?
My God.
12 hours.
My dad's no slouch either. He'll tag it.
Come
He'll
on,
tag
Dad.
our bits.
Let's go. All right, Stephen. We'll see you this weekend. Thanks for talking, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Joel. Okay, see you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Stephen. Thanks, bud. That was a good talk. I enjoyed that. He's one of those guys you could talk to. I could go on. Can I go on the road with Steven Rogers and open for him? Actually, probably not, because my act's pretty dirty. You wouldn't like all my dick jokes. But, but Steven's great. Come on out this weekend. You want to see a star on the rise, somebody before they're famous, because people always say that about Nate Bargatze. I can't believe he was here. Can't believe Bob Saget was here, or Tim Allen, or any of those guys that are up on the wall there. A million of them. Gary Shandling, and just on and on. Well, they all been there, and this is a chance to see them before they're too big, before they go to the big theater. And the tickets cost 3 times as much, because that's what happens. You know it. If you don't catch these guys on the way up. But like we say at the Comedy Castle, we get you on the way up and we get you on the way down. But, Steven, you're on the way up. Thanks for talking to me today. Really look forward to the weekend. So let's get you out of here, guys. Thanks for listening again. If you can follow the Comedy Castle podcast on social media, that's Instagram or Facebook. So Comedy Castle Podcast or Comedy Castle Pod, Facebook and Instagram. Add us on there. You'll get the updates on when these shows come up. The full archive of shows, if you want to go back. 236, I think, is today's show. You can go back and listen to all of them at comedycastlepodcast.com. All right, so you can go up there and find those. So, hey, let's get out of here. Thanks for listening. We'll see you at the club this weekend for Steven Rogers. Maybe Maria Bamford, if you got lucky. You got those tickets. I don't know. We'll see you there.